to the basics, be kind to people, people will be kind to you. That's an approach that's so universal. It doesn't matter what product we sell. It doesn't matter what service we bring to the table. If you can start there, they're going to be more apt to close, no matter what the product is.
Boom! New York, big city of dreams. We're at Jared Intuitive Analytica. Yo, they're not your regular type of company, man. These guys are very successful. They have multiple exits.
We focus on the customer. We focus on customer experience. If you have a brand that you're trying to elevate, right? If you want to do that sincerely, you teach your sales folks, treat your customers how you would want to be treated. And we do that across all of our verticals.
I think 90% of people here that buy calls, they're all doing it on a buffer. You don't find a lot of people just buying calls raw. You guys will take any call.
There was a time where we did it. Buffer, got to get in there, quick bull ride. But I think as time went on, we went back and analyzed our business model and said, there is a better business model and we can approach this in a different way where our close ratios can be 60, 70%. And people say, well, how does that happen? They said, because we take it within 2 minutes to get to know somebody.
People have the wrong conception about a call center. You say, it's not a call center, it's a tech center. You guys are very tech focused, right? I think that's why you guys have had that success.
A lot of the things we do in call centers is create efficiencies. Introducing technology that allows us to be more streamlined in our funnels. That's kind of the front end of it. And then the back end is, how can that intelligence help us have a better conversation with that client?
Boom! New York, big city of dreams. We're with Jared. We're at Jared Intuitive Analytica, right? These guys are doing big things. These guys are just, yo, they're not your regular type of company, man. These guys are very successful. They have multiple exits and they got out of the league gate, but now they're back and they're going to fucking disrupt things. I like disruption. Absolutely. Let's talk about what is it? A lot of guys, I think you guys are under the radar. What do you guys do exactly?
Well, we,
and great hair, by the way. I got the best hair in the fucking Affiliate Summer Show.
Stop it. No, I appreciate that. Now, what we do, we focus on the customer. We focus on customer experience. If you have a brand that you're trying to elevate, right? If you want to do that sincerely, you teach your sales folks, treat your customers how you would want to be treated. And we do that across all of our verticals. And whenever we implement that, what we see are greater LTVs, right? Less turnover, less attrition internally. Salespeople who are happy with their career, not just their job where they're skipping around from place to place. But when we were able to bring that human touch in such a digital world these days, right? We're in the world of AI. So when you can make that personal connection translate to somebody, you've got a customer for life. So that's what we focus on.
And what verticals are there primarily?
So we're across multiple verticals at this point. Insurance, right? Financial services. Also, what we talk about can apply to any sale across any vertical. And that's what we try and do. It's a more universal approach. And we're trying to change the game from a leads perspective too, to get folks to feel more, get publishers to feel more in tune with that type of mentality where all the traffic that they're bringing in, they're spending all that money, they're putting in all that effort, putting out that great energy, that great blend. They're bringing those people to the table. There is a need. There's a reason that those people are on the telephone. And as sales folks, it's our job to maximize that and find out what that is or what it is that client needs. Mm-hmm. So taking time with the client to get past that initial just, hey, how you doing? What you're looking for, right? And you actually sit down and say, hey, Mr. Smith, what's going on? Tell me about what your needs are. And I'm going to try and help find a product or a service that's going to be able to help.
So how do you do that? Because it sounds like, obviously when you're running a sales team, sure, you want them to be scripted, right? Because that's it, they script the hearers, so not saying anything wacky. They're compliant. I've written many scripts. I've run like thousands of agents, right? Sure. But there's a fine line too. You got to be able to color outside of the edges too sometimes. Like, how do you find that balance?
Absolutely. I think, and look, if you go back to the basics, be kind to people, people will be kind to you. Yeah. If you just start there, start with a little bit of gratitude, right? Hey, thank you for being on a call with me today. How can I help you? That's an approach that's so universal. It doesn't matter what product we sell. It doesn't matter what service we bring to the table. If you can start there and have your people, have your sales agents, have your floor lead with that kind of feeling, right? They're going to be more apt to close no matter what the product is. So then you as a business owner can introduce multiple verticals to a single salesperson. And guess what? They're going to be able to sell it because they've created that connection, right, with the buyer.
So are you talking too about, like, I can imagine that's for downsells, right, or upsells, whatever you want to call it. Let's say you have a call comes in for final expense for the sake of just cars, right? Sure. Let's say they don't qualify. I mean, I'm sure like you have some sort of funnels, right, where you monetize and made for some other offer.
Of course, and it doesn't need to be on that phone call. Obviously, everything we want to do is going to be compliant, right? We need to take them through the proper channels in order to make them some of those other offerings. But on the front end, with the lead gen that we bring to the table, there is genuine interest in the product that we're putting forth first, right? So a lot of that differentiation, or a lot of the ways that we bucket those leads, happens behind the scene, right? That's where the AI is really helping us out to bucket and channel those folks as we best can prior to making it to a sales agent, right? And that way the sales agent, their job is to make that connection, find out what the needs are within that vertical, and then closing on these.
So I just interviewed Dobie from Providence, right? These guys are using a lot of AI. Yeah, they're using AI in their call center, and I think it's giving them an edge. And also I talked about my buddy Samar Hussein. He's big in AI, and he said something on the podcast recently. People have the wrong conception about a call center. It's not a call center, it's a tech center.
Exactly.
Right? And you guys are very tech focused, right? I think that's why you guys have had that success.
Absolutely. I think anything that can give you an advantage to help someone in greater detail, or to be able to solve that problem for them quicker, right? A lot of the things we do in call centers is create efficiencies. And I think that's a lot of what we bring to the table with the tech that we introduce. Not just from a personnel standpoint or connection standpoint, because we have plenty of technology that helps us to identify that client and who they are and what they're about, right? But then also being expeditious with that sale as we create efficiencies, right? As a salesperson, we want to help as many people as we can in a day. So introducing technology that allows us to be more streamlined in our funnels is that's kind of the front end of it. And then the back end is how can that intelligence help us have a better conversation with that call?
God. And then prior to talking here, we're talking offline, and we had a very good conversation about the disconnect that goes on between publishers and advertisers, and so many advertisers, they try to beat the system, right? They might say they'll pay you on a 90-second duration, but then at the 80-second mark, they're training their agent to get off that phone call, right? Buffer beaters, man. And it's so frustrating because I see digital marketing as like you're casting this fucking net, right? And you're trying to get as much gold in that net, and you're gonna have some garbage in there, but that's like gold, and they're throwing it away, and you're not reaping any of those rewards. So how can you can't win that way? It's not mutually beneficial. But you guys have systems, right, to prevent that from happening.
Exactly. And that starts at an executive level where the relationship between the publisher and the advertiser needs to change a little bit. There is change happening. There's change afoot. And in that, what we're seeing is a model where, if we're taking in calls, if we're taking in raw calls, we're just able to interface with those calls, and we lose the duration. You don't need that duration. There's gold, just like you said, there's gold in all of those calls. So it's your job as a salesperson to have the ability to not have to close those people off after 90 seconds or 120 seconds, but to be able to facilitate, hey, I understand that we're going to have to get to know one another a little bit. There's going to be a little dating before they try and close the deal. So just changing the approach from a publisher and advertiser standpoint, I think is pivotal in allowing advertisers or rooms to be able to get more out of those leads. Because those publishers, like I said earlier in the conversation, was spending a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of technology, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears goes into being able to capture those potential clients, right? So just limiting them with some type of time duration is it's actually working against them.
So that's what I think what's unique about what you guys are doing is that I think 90% of people here that buy calls, maybe 95%, they're all doing it on a buffer. What's up, Ariel? You ready? Anyway, so they're doing it on a buffer, right?
Yes.
They're doing it on a buffer. You don't find a lot of people just buying calls raw, right? Old dirty bastard who like it raw, right? So you guys are doing it, and I think that's the beauty of it is that you're looking, because of your system, I think you guys know that most calls are gonna last more than 90 seconds. Unless it's like you're some deadbeat call and just fucking waste your time. That's gonna happen, right?
Exactly.
But you guys will take any call. Doesn't matter, because you guys are so confident in your systems, your technology, that you're gonna be able to monetize that lead, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Again, it takes a change from the top down. I've been at this for a very long time, and there was a time where we did it just the way you're talking about it. Buffer, got to get in there, quick bull ride, see what qualifies, what doesn't qualify, and if it's not qualified, we move on. But I think as time went on, you know, we went back and analyzed our business model and said, there is a better business model, and we can approach this in a different way, where our close ratios can be 60, 70%. And people say, well, how does that happen? They said, because we take it within 2 minutes to get to know Seville. So that's the way we approach our clients, because again, we spend all that money, that energy, that intelligence to go out there and find these people. We want to be able to help them. I live by a motto that, you know, you want to leave somebody in a better place than when you find.
Yeah.
That's what we try to push everyone out there selling.
So what vert are you? I know you guys will be looking for final expense, right? Look, final expense call listers here. What other publishers are you looking for to partner up with over there?
Absolutely. So financial services, mortgages, home services.
Mortgages, huh?
Absolutely.
What is a refi, HELOC, or what exactly?
And look, everything. See, therein lies the rub. You're looking for that 90-second bucket to put them into. Don't put them in that bucket. When those people call, guess what? They might be looking for a traditional loan, but in the same breath, you might not know that they have a second mortgage that, hey, we could do a cash out refi on that one and still get you into the loan that you're looking for. So taking that extra time or that extra set of questions when you qualify that person just a little bit more. And in there, that's where the gold is.
Yeah, you got me thinking. I know we got some history together with our companies, but we do so much. We've done so much solar, still do solar. We do so much home recruitment, and I know I'm missing the boat, and I'm not the only one. I mean, every people watches. We're all right. Like, data is so valuable, right? It's just so many ways to slice and dice, and at the end of the day, yeah, I talk a lot about making money, you know, on the show. That's a sizzle, but at the end of the day, how do you create value for that customer, that prospect on the phone with you? And then at the end of the day, bro, I travel like freaking crazy, so everyone is strapped. I mean, I forgot to say, 55% of Americans don't have $400 saved for an emergency expense. But most of them are homeowners, and they got a big nest egg, that equity that they can't tap, or for whatever reason they don't know they can tap. Sure. So I feel like that right there. I know guys that are kind of doing it, but I feel like I don't hear enough of that, and I don't know why that is. And I'm not taking advantage. I should be taking advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're going to do it from a refi, you could also go into the insurance space with an IUL.
Yeah,
you know, leverage those living benefits. There are 100 different ways. Everyone, pick up a book. Pick up a book. Let's educate ourselves and figure out how to put ourselves in the best financial position that we can be in order to, you know, take care of our families, take care of ourselves, this type of thing. But yeah, it really takes you being passionate about learning how to be a better steward of your mind.
Got it. So how does it work, right? Let's say someone watching the call, a media buyer watching this call, they're generating calls. How do they get started with you guys? I mean, you have a sign up link, and what's the payouts look like? Let's talk about that.
Absolutely.
Break it down.
Yeah. Payouts on my stuff.
No money, no honey. That's what we're talking about.
If you head to intuitiveanalytica.com, we have intake forms for advertisers and publishers. We're willing to speak with anyone, right? Again, you've been around for quite a while, but we're always looking for new folks who are in line with the way we're approaching the old school Trona cap. So as long as they're out there and they're willing or flexible to to kind of fit into that mold a bit more, we're willing to sit down and talk.
I love it.
Yeah.
Guys, we gave you an opportunity to make a lot of money here. You got a lot of calls going to waste. It reminds me like a butcher, right? The butcher gets the piece of meat, and they make money off everything. Every single little piece of meat. The bones go to the dogs. They're monetizing the shit out of it. Monetize your stuff, guys. If you like the stuff we're dropping here, make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe. Tell your mom, tell your grandma, tell your neighbors. They need to hear this shit, man. There's inflation, a lot of inflation going on. Let's make some fucking money. I'm glad you're on the show, guys. This is like a very powerful product. Hit up Jared. Guys know what to do. Success eats clues. Let's fucking go.
Get ready to level your shit up with the LFG Show. We travel the globe to bring you heavy hitters from all walks of life. We've been talking some serious business, from the best digital marketers, government contracting experts, to top athletic and celebrity doctors. We've got it all covered. We're talking to guys with cash in for billions with a B. And the best thing is, we're just getting started. So hold on tight. We're about to crank it up a notch. Get ready for next level networking and masterminds within the LFG community. Scared money don't make no money or honey. Hit the subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment, and let's fucking go.